getting rid of social programs which are designed to keep people dependent. These are all things which can be politically accomplished. Just like abortion, the starting of banning that was politically accomplished in our lifetime. And the thing is like, you have no prescriptions. Fuck, at least I'm trying here, man.
Man, Andrew, you are Captain Obvious. This is the
Well, then why
obvious
didn't you
prescription.
obviously state it as a prescription?
Because people have exhausted the means to be able to do this. Trust me, there have been people way better than you that dress better than you and shave their beard better than you that can do this, and they haven't been able to accomplish it.
Andrew Wilson shreds Coach Greg Adams over the fall of the patriarchy in this heated debate as Andrew Wilson contests Greg Adams' malfunction logic of giving into degeneracy, while Greg Adams attempts to mock Andrew Wilson without having any answer to anything of his own whatsoever. Let's jump in.
Do you know what a baseline for an argument is?
That was the baseline.
Yeah.
You want to say now, do we want to increase the body count?
Yeah,
I mean, because if you're
that was the whole point of the baseline of the argument.
So right now, if we can pull up how many women in Gen Z, because this is marital age women, would have a body count lower than 5.
No,
because
millennials are also marriageably aged. What do you mean?
Okay, millennials, younger millennials, okay? Because there's no point in older people getting married. They're not procreating, all right? They're going to have 1 or 2 kids.
Older
that doesn't
people
help
do
us.
procreate.
Not that much, all right? They're going to have 1 or 2 kids, all right? Listen, it said in the Bible, in your Bible, it says be fruitful and multiply, not add, all right? We're not adding one little autistic kid. We're multiplying.
That would be multiplying.
It wouldn't be multiplying.
Yes,
having one little bread-ass kid.
If you have 3 and you have 1 more, that's
all right,
multiplying.
Multiplying by 1, all right? That's
So
not the answer.
multiplying.
Okay, listen. We're multiplying by multiples. You know what I'm talking about. Now, listen.
Yeah, that is a multiple.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. You want to convince me that there's going to be women of low body count in this secular world we live in to make your scenario work, to enforce women to have sex with their husband from the pulpit.
Yeah.
Do you see? This is very strange.
Well, I have all the data to back my. Show me
from a very small percentage. I mean, it works in a podunk town. I don't know where you're from. We're talking about the metropolises. We're talking about major cities.
And how is your plan going to mitigate that? How is your plan going to mitigate that?
I don't know if you remember. I asked you. All right.
And I told you.
And you came back with virgins.
No.
And you came back with enforcing sex from the pulpit.
Half the argument. That's why you can't respond to my arguments. So let's do it again. If you want to mitigate.
Force women to have lower body count.
You're not, dude. How's it force?
Go ahead.
How's it force?
You're the one enforcing sex.
How is it? How are we using force?
How are you enforcing sex to the husband
through social pressure, doofus? The same way you would with everything.
Gentlemen, your wife is going to have sex with you because church reverend enforced her to have sex with you.
Do you think?
Okay, please pull up the chat.
Yeah,
his suggestion is to have a church reverend enforce you to have burning desire to have sex.
Enforce requires force. Enforce is a derivative of force. You can't enforce absent force. No one's saying force.
This is how your sex is going to be had in his marriage. It's through enforcement through the religious pulpit.
No, it's going to be
this is 2025, and we're still here somewhere on Little House on the Prairie.
If it's the idea,
I would love to have this reality.
If it's the idea that women have and men have both, that they're not supposed to deprive each other from this because that is how they live the life of a Christian. The case of the matter is that they try to keep themselves sexually appealing to the partner. They try to keep themselves moving towards that state where they're found appealing. That's part of that. Why do you think? And by the way, you keep saying force. Can you demonstrate anywhere that I said that there would be any force involved with any of this, or that it's even necessary? Enforce is force.
Correct. That's what.
So where is the force? Where?
You tell me. You're the one.
You asked the question.
Wait, you're the one that told me the church reverend is going to come enforce marriage.
No. When?
You said that earlier.
No. I said the
enforcement from the
authority
from
uses
the pulpit.
Social pressure.
Social pressure.
That's
to
not
make your wife fuck your husband.
No, you're not making them do anything.
Okay, to encourage them to fuck.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't you encourage people's wives to fuck them?
I don't need to be in their bedrooms that much.
Yeah, I mean,
if I can't force a woman to do very much.
If a woman called you and said, "I don't sleep with my husband. He seems angry at me," would you encourage her to sleep with him?
I wouldn't encourage her to do anything, especially with
me.
I don't mess with married women. That's their
brilliant.
Business.
So your solution is fucking nothing. Nothing.
My solution is very clear.
What is it?
You're telling me at this particular point that you're going to enforce through social pressure. Social pressure.
That's not force.
Hold on for a second. Social pressure enforces women to be very promiscuous at this particular point. Now, you're talking about 7% of the population or better, maybe 10, that are going to fall under this category. And this is going to lead a wave of women sleeping with their husband through social pressures when social pressure quite tells them the opposite. Let me move. Let me.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. This point.
Exactly. It's very difficult. I know
it is
it's very difficult for you. I know exactly, and very nice tactic. But listen,
it's not a tactic. I really are trying my hardest to understand.
You're taking a very small scenario to make it the large scenario. When I'm telling you the larger scenario is the reality, and you're telling me
both
if
the reality.
I do this, if I do that.
No,
this is a very small percentage.
You're doing the same
thing. I'm telling you about
if
what's
you get
happening.
married, you may get a divorce.
No, I said when.
If this happens, then this may happen.
We already looked at the statistics of it likely happening.
Yeah,
so that is likely to happen.
First of all, even the statistics
you
looked at.
Statistics again.
Pull up
the marriage statistics. The
for the Christians. It's actually not likely, is it?
In the United States, overall in the United States. So it only in order for it to work, you have to be white.
You need to
make a certain income. Hold on for a second. You need.
You want me to break it down?
So
social.
So you want to go. You want to go. In order for your marriage to work, they have to be white, Christian.
They don't have to be white.
Make money.
No.
And then also probably live in a certain region.
If it's the
case. Now, what if that's not the case? Because in the United States, I don't know where you live, but in the case,
then we use the apparatuses.
If you take the rest of the United States, they're highly not that. That is outside of those demographics.
And don't you want to change that?
What if they're outside of that? What if they're not white and Christian?
Don't you want to change that?
What if they're not Christian to make $100K? What do you suggest then?
Yeah, so here's what I would suggest. If it's the case that in the black community, you have more divorces than in the white community, there's going to be contributing factors for why that is. I don't think that black people are just ontologically different than white people. Do you? Do you just believe at their core they're just ontologically different, or do you think that they're the same? Because if that's the case, if we're equal people and equal people groups, then there must be some other social factors which are relating to this that increase the divorce rate in the black community that doesn't exist yet in the white community. If that's the case, we would specifically target those issues to prevent that from happening, right? We're going to do this across. We're going to do this across the board. Well,
what would they be?
For the black community, there's a bunch. The one, you have a distinction in economic certitude. The second one is you had a massive abortion rate, which is super problematic. Another one is you use matriarchal structures in the family home instead of patriarchal. Huge issue that you have. By the way, when it was Christian-based, it didn't happen. It was a patriarchal structure inside those black homes. And boy, they didn't put up with shit. Not the case anymore. So you have multiple factors here which need to be addressed. I agree with that. Nobody ever disagreed with that, though. What we're trying to do is look at the mitigation of risk. And even for the black community,
we handled that already.
If the black community moves in to these conventionally traditional churches, they still will have the same ecclesiastical authority, which will assist them in governing their marriage that white people would have. And it would still assist with the mitigation of risk. What's the alternative? It's just degeneracy, right? The alternative is just just hump them and never get married. Well, what good does that do for blacks? What good does that do? It just leads to more abortion. It just leads to more degeneracy. It leads to high crime rates, and the single motherhood's out of control. So, what are you doing to prevent any of that? Nothing. Nothing. Tell me what? What?
Folks, let me know in the comments below if you agree that Andrew Wilson is literally trying to give out solutions to these current issues. Because it seems like Coach Greg Adams is just simply mocking Andrew Wilson's attempts, not even having a real solution, let alone answer to these issues. Saying that, oh, you're Captain Obvious. Oh, yeah, you're looking at the smaller problem of the bigger problem. All right then. What's your solution? Is all what Andrew is asking. What is the solution? We'll see how this unfolds.
Okay, thank you. You said things that people have known for the past 45 years, but I appreciate that. Hold on for a second. Thank you for contributing to a common conversation that people know, but you offer no other solution. That's great. Now, here's a problem. Here's a problem with this. It's an if scenario. That would be great if we can go back to this. It would be great if we can go back and look at and say that blacks, when they were in the 40s and 50s, they had more stable relationships and marriages than even white folks. Here's the issue.
Okay.
Why stop at the 40s? Let's talk about 1863.
Okay.
Your tradition seems to always hit this point of 1940s where you shine this light of traditionalism that you've never lived in, that seems to be in a snapshot of something that you don't even know about. Then when I fast forward,
saying anything, dude.
Again, you're not listening. When I fast forward to 1970, when it falls all apart with no-fault divorce, based on what I've been arguing, what happens? All that traditionalism falls apart. why don't we take it further? Why don't we take it back to bride prices? I mean, how far in tradition you're going to go? You're only going to bang your head around 1940 and 50 because you watched a couple of movies and I Love Lucy episodes? That's not tradition.
Okay.
That was a snapshot in history that you're trying to achieve again.
So
take it back further. There's no marriages in the Black community.
Let's say we'll take it. Let's say we take it all the way back to the 1700s. Let's just say, just for the sake of it, right? And that I'm totally wrong about all this, just for the sake of argument. Let's just say, what is your prescription to deal with any of those issues when you're telling men in the Black community to not get married? How is that going to assist with abortion? How's that going to assist with strong fathers in the home? How's that going to assist with the only demographic population which can't reproduce itself? How? Can you give me a single prescription to any of that?
Let me tell you something. I agree with you on this.
I just want a prescription, dude.
There's a problem. I agree with you. And listen, if you had any ability to provide this prescription better than Louis Farrakhan or Martin Luther King.
Does that mean no?
Well, give me a second. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
These men have tried to pretty much heal this issue, and they haven't.
No, they
so
didn't.
Andrew Wilson certainly not to. Neither will CGA. So I don't have a prescription for the Black community because the Black community is pretty much doomed at this particular point. They have too much degeneracy. They have single mother rates at the 70 and 80%. But I'm going to tell you something. You want to come in here and tell me something about ecclesiastics, and you're telling me about the reality of the Black community, how to fix it. Nobody's been able to fix that community. So there's nothing you can do, and I can't offer any solution for that.
Look,
now, at that particular point, you're saying the risk is higher. It certainly will be higher under those matriarchal conditions. So you get no argument from me there. So at that point, where's your statistics lie then?
Well,
where's your solution then?
I'll tell you again. So I'm glad
he's going to solve the community problems here. I'd love to hear this.
Listen again. I'm not saying
the Black community problem solved by Andrew Wilson.
That says the guy who literally just got done saying, I have zero prescriptions.
Because nobody does.
Yeah,
that community is here. But I would love to hear the Black community solved by Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, so let me tell you a bunch of things that can be done which will help mitigate these issues.
Please do.
The first is
that you can accomplish. Yeah. Not some pipe dream.
That can be accomplished.
Here we go.
That can be accomplished politically and already are beginning to be accomplished politically. The first is you have to outlaw abortion. You have to. It has to be outlawed. And not by state where you can just go to the next state and do another abortion, right? One of the biggest problems with promiscuity in the Black community is that they use abortion as a form of birth control. Same problem that you see in the white community, by the way. It's just more prevalent in the Black community. The next problem that you have there is the lack of religiosity, where there used to be a really strong core religious base of based Black men. And they were patriarchal, very patriarchal. And the thing is that it's the idea of these feminist bra-burning lunatics that told Black women not to be under the evil patriarchy of their men. And yet, at this point, the men are rolling over and allowing the matriarchy to take over in their own community. Is a return to traditional church ethics going to assist that? Of course it will. Of course it will. How do I know? Because it did then, just a few short years ago. I'm not talking about hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about 60 years ago. By the way, there's other things that you can do too. Getting rid of EBT, getting rid of social programs which are designed to keep people dependent. These are all things which can be politically accomplished. Just like abortion, the starting of banning that was politically accomplished in our lifetime. And the thing is like, you have no prescriptions. Fuck, at least I'm trying here, man.
Man, Andrew, you are Captain Obvious. This is the obvious prescription.
Why didn't you obviously state it as a prescription?
Because people have exhausted the means to be able to do this. Trust me, there have been people way better than you that dress better than you and shave their beard better than you that can do this, and they haven't been able to accomplish it. You have the Democratic Party that is highly influential. 92% of Black women voted for Democrats. That's also possibly where most of those women go to church. Most of Black churches are overwhelmingly women. It's a woman's club. And you're telling me about something completely obvious that everybody has pointed out for 25 years. You're not giving me anything new. This is a completely obvious scenario. And you believe that you've enlightened me over here and you're waiting for me to give you a solution. Let me tell you something.
It's not about changing your mind.
All this yapping, and what form of solution has he given? I mean, what kind of lunacy was Greg spewing? It's obvious. It's been said so many times. Okay, we get it. Almost every few decades were different back then. But what solutions does Greg offer to the table? Andrew Wilson had many solutions given that are factual if taken action. Only if taken action. The degeneracy is off the charts, no doubt. All of these problems lead to the fall of this patriarchy. But even the communities themselves can fix this if people were to team up and fix these issues within relationships. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, comment, subscribe for more clips like these, and we will see you on the next one.